Hello everyone, and welcome back. It's been a little while since Spyro saved all of the dragon eggs from the villainous sorceress, long enough that said dragon eggs have now grown up a little and are ready to receive their lifelong dragonfly companions. But of course, nothing can be that simple, as who should interrupt the celebrations but Ripto? Yeah, remember that guy who burnt to death in lava in the second game? Yep, he's back, with a bigger mouth than ever and ready to steal away all the innocent dragonflies, even Sparks, which of course, Spyro's not gonna let slide. But without Sparks around, Spyro's dragon powers are feeling a little bit drained, so it might be best if he avoids using any of his dragony abilities for a little while. Can you beat Spyro Enter the Dragonfly without being a dragon? Since it's been a little while since we tackled one of these games, here's a refresher on the rules. Number 1, to simulate playing as not a dragon, we can't use any abilities Spyro only has as a result of being a dragon, the main ones being flight, gliding, and his elemental breaths. We also can't use Sparks, since as the intro shows, he's only sticking around Spyro because of some dragon tradition, but seeing as he got zapped just like the rest of the dragonflies, that shouldn't be much of a problem here. And number 2, we have to collect everything that we can. We're aiming to get our completion percentage as high as possible while sticking to the rules as much as possible. I'll be real, I'm not excited for this run, like even in the slightest, and the only reason I'm doing it is because the series feels a bit incomplete without it. If you know anything about this game, it's probably that it's not very good. Graphically, story, technically, it's all just a mess that usually I'd try to avoid, but we're already well past the point of no return now, so no point in complaining, we might as well just get into it. So, can you beat Spyro Enter the Dragonfly without being a dragon? Before we get stuck into the actual game, Bianca tells Spyro to follow her, and leads us to... hey Sparks? Guess he's back already? Well, geez, that kinda undercuts a good bit of tension that the intro set up. Seriously, why even bother showing Sparks get spirited away if we're just gonna be reunited with him literal seconds later? Whatever, we now get chucked into the first homeworld, and actually the only homeworld. Yeah, this time instead of having multiple different themed hubs, we just have one big homeworld with new sections being unlocked the more of the game we complete. We don't really have that much space to explore at the start, with only 2 levels being accessible from the get-go. Right in front of Spyro is a strange medallion, and approaching it will cause Bianca to appear to fill us in on its importance. This is a dragon rune, an ancient artifact that by returning to this big dragon statue in the homeworld will let Spyro learn a new elemental breath attack. Unlike the previous games where elemental breaths outside of fire were just temporary power-ups, here they're a permanent, unlockable part of Spyro's moveset. Just like in my previous runs, I'll be disallowing the use of these other breaths with one exception, that being the bubble breath. This breath isn't used for puzzle solving or combat, and rather is just used for capturing the scattered dragonflies that we find around the world, so without it, this run would be kind of dead on arrival. Plus, breathing bubbles is like the one type of special breath easily accessible to other non-dragony creatures. With that done, we have one more problem to solve before we can start collecting things, and that's Sparks. Normally, getting rid of Sparks wouldn't be a problem at all, just find the nearest source of damage and let it go to town on us, but just like in the previous 2 games, there isn't actually any way to damage ourselves in the hub world. Usually, we just head to the closest level to find a can of bug spray or something to get rid of him, but while we can reach the closest level without collecting any of the gems on the ground, once we actually get there, we're informed that the portal can't be opened without the power of at least one dragonfly. So, you see the problem, right? According to the rules of the run, we can't collect anything until we get rid of Sparks, but we can't get rid of Sparks until we collect something. As the rules are written, this should be a challenge failed right out the gate, however, I'm gonna be a little bit lenient here. Having Sparks around, aside from acting as our health bar, only really has an effect on collecting gems, increasing the range that we can grab them by. For collecting everything else, Sparks is no help at all, so with or without him, collecting a dragonfly here would be completely the same. As long as we can collect a dragonfly in the homeworld without collecting a gem as we do so, I feel this challenge is still alive, and luckily, right next to where we spawned in, we can do just that, letting us open the portal to our first level, Dragonfly Dojo. Once in Dragonfly Dojo, before doing anything else, I let the local baddies wail on me for a bit to get rid of Sparks, and with that done, we can finally start collecting. We're informed by Zoe that the Dragon Masters here have been frozen by Ripto's minions. Bringing these guys is our main mission for the level, and I'll give you 3 guesses on how we're meant to do that. Yeah, so we can't complete the main objective for this level, but worse than that, without freeing the first one of the Dragon Masters, we can't open the big door leading out of the first area, completely trapping ourselves in this area. Knowing this game's issues, I tried my best to phase through one of the doors, but no matter where I tried charging, I couldn't find a spot to make this work. All said, there's 136 gems and just 1 dragonfly available here. Not a good start, but there's still other levels to try out, so we aren't out for the count yet. Back in the homeworld, now Sparksless, we can get into collecting. Most of the gems in the areas that we have access to can be easily scored, the only real exceptions being the ones over on the platform with the challenge portal. Speaking of said challenge portal, without being able to reach it, we're unable to complete the associated challenge, locking us out of a dragonfly. On the topic of unobtainable dragonflies, right next next to this, we can find Hunter. Just like in the previous games, he's here to teach us the basics of gliding. We're meant to follow him from platform to platform, and even if we could glide from where we find him over to his next location, hint, we can't, he would then jump over to the platform with the challenge portal, which as I just said is unreachable, so despite supposedly being on our side, Hunter refuses to hand over his Dragonfly. Back over near the portal to Dragonfly Dojo, we can just barely make this jump, from where we can find the portal to the other level. Well, remember when I said that there's still other levels to try out? Well, turns out that was a lie. There is no way that we can cross this gap to the only other level in the first area, meaning with a grand total of 304 gems and just 2 Dragonflies, we've collected everything that we can in the entire game without using dragon abilities. Usually, that would be all she wrote. We have no way to collect anything else, and nowhere near enough to unlock the next chunk of the homeworld, so it's challenge failed, right? Well, not quite yet. See, as I've mentioned a few times, this game is notoriously glitchy. Usually, that would be a bad thing, a sign of something going wrong in the game making process, but for our purposes it's a godsend as there are numerous ways that we can break the game to skip past the usual progression checks. My first thought was to phase through one of the gates, blocking off other parts of the homeworld. This is supposedly really easy to do, just needing to charge at the right area of the gate, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get this to work. I did a little bit of googling and supposedly this could be because I have the platinum version of the game. Yeah, somehow this game sold enough copies to go platinum. This version had some bug fixes in it, including this gate skip, so since I'm not willing to drop even more of my hard-earned money on a second copy of this game, I can't utilize this glitch. But why would I even bother with that when there is an even more broken, even easier skip that I can abuse? In the first area, we can find this ring on the ground. This thing is actually the portal to the final fight against Ripto, and usually it wouldn't open until we have enough Dragonflies to power it. But no joke, right from the word go, you can do a head bash at a specific spot on it to phase right through the ground and get straight to the final fight. This skip is insanely easy to perform. Having never done it before, and with only one watch of a YouTube guide, I was able to use this to get to the final boss in under 2 minutes of loading in. This is just so broken, and it kind of makes everything up until this point feel a bit pointless. Like, I'll be real, I could have just skipped to this part of the video, but then the video would only be like a minute long at most. Anyway, the fight with Ripto is actually kind of hard. We have to follow him back and forth around the arena to deal a hit on him before he can get an attack off. His attacks can be dodged, but it's super hard, and remember, with no sparks, a single hit means instant death, so it's best to be quick to stop him from being able to attack. And if you couldn't tell from my footage, in order to actually deal a hit on him, we have to use our Flame Breath. A charge will do nothing, meaning even with being able to skip right to the end, it's still a challenge failed. We have to hit him 3 times, at which point he'll move into phase... no, that's it. He's defeated. We don't even get an ending cutscene, just cut to credits. Wow, this was even more anticlimactic than I expected. With Ripto defeated, for realsies this time, trust me, the Dragon Realms are once again safe. I mean, sure, only 2 dragons will be getting their Dragonfly companions, but hey, maybe they'll just inspire more dragons to take up the dragonless lifestyle like their good buddy Spyro. So, can you beat Spyro, enter the Dragonfly, without being a dragon? Nope. It takes at least 3 uses of Spyro's dragon abilities to get through to the end, regardless of how much of the game we skip, and without a way to skip past the final boss, that's how it's gonna stay. Though, if there is any game that would have a way to glitch past the final boss, it would probably be this one, so who knows. Sorry this video was a little bit anticlimactic. Honestly, after getting all my footage and realizing how little there'd be to talk about here, I was considering scrapping the video altogether, but like I said, the series wouldn't quite feel complete without it, so at least it's out of the way now. Plus, I'm currently on holiday in Japan, so having a quick, easy video ready to make without taking any time off of my holiday is just fine by me. For those of you who stuck around, thanks for watching. I hope you found it enjoyable despite the shorter length. If you did enjoy, don't forget to like and consider subscribing for more videos just like it. Until next time, I've been Katie Cat, and thank you for watching.